Hi, how's everybody doing? This is Rowland Webb with the Ordinary Investor. We help put the wealth plan in your hand. Today, we're going to talk about an instant inheritance. Okay, I've got a lot of questions about, legacy building, and what does it take to start building a legacy? Like, how do you start? So the first step is to start with your legacy kind of foundation. There are ways where you can kind of make your legacy immediate. I mean, tomorrow, as soon as next week. So let me tell you about that. A lot of people talk about this, and it's life insurance. The simple act of getting life insurance gives your family an instant inheritance. Now, hopefully, that could be enough to cover your expenses and to leave a little bit left over. But get a life insurance plan, whether it's a whole life or a term policy. A term policy is a little bit easier to get because it's less expensive. And then it gives you the amount of time, 10, 20, or 30 years, where you can start to build your foundation in addition to that life insurance. So when eventually that life insurance ends or is canceled, you have a legacy of things to give to your significant others. So, for example, life insurance policies can range anywhere from like $25 to $100 for multiple $100,000 contracts. I mean, anywhere from like 200 to 400,000. I think that's kind of the threshold without having to get a medical exam. Don't quote me on that, but if you stay there, you're looking to pay less than $100 a month. And this is for your family, so if you can get like 300 or $400,000 policy for the next 20 years or so, and it only costs you, between 50 and $100 a month. I mean, you can't beat that. That type of leverage you're not going to find. And what I'm learning is that America and building wealth is about using your leverage. So we have to do that. We have to use these life insurance companies, and it's cheap for a reason because the odds are you'll probably survive for a while unless you have some kind of an accident. But hey, use that. It's only a couple $100 a year. I mean, $50 a year. We're talking about. I mean, $50 a month. We're talking about like $600 a year to have 200, 300, $400,000 available for your significant others if something happens to you. That's not a bad deal. And a lot of times, that's what we can do just to simply get an initial legacy to leave. Now, ideally, you want to add up all the stuff that you owe on and make sure that gets paid off and make sure you leave something extra. But that's a foundation. If you can't afford a big policy, start off with a small one. And then maybe when you start making more money, then you increase that policy up a little bit, as you make more money. But to have something, I can't tell you the amount of stories that I hear of one, family feuds because people are fighting about life insurance or what's left to who or what's left. That's a kind of a bigger issue with estate planning. And when you get a significant amount of wealth, you do need to do an estate plan something more complicated than life insurance. You're going to need to do, your wills and trust, powers of attorney, and things of that nature. But to start off, just get a life insurance plan. Simple, basic, and sometimes you don't even have to go get a medical exam. If you have a higher end policy, you probably have to go get one. If you have a basic one, a couple $100,000, you're probably not going to have to get a medical exam, and you can get it tomorrow. Use a select quote, bestow, what is it, ethos or whatever it is. Use those shop around sites to help you shop around, and then get one that's right for you. And you can have that done as soon as tomorrow. So you literally have the power to leave an instant inheritance for your family tomorrow by doing this one simple thing. What that allows you to do is have a foundation so that you can then start to build your legacy, knowing if something happens to you while you're in the process of building your legacy, you have something for your heirs, you have something for your significant others in place now, so that while you're spending the next couple decades building your legacy, you have something for them. Okay? And that's better than nothing. Because I can't tell you the amount of stories that I've heard. I'm telling you, it's crazy the amount of stories that I've heard about people just simply not doing that basic thing. So, for building a legacy and foundation, get a life insurance policy, shop them out. It doesn't cost a lot of money for what you're able to get. And that is the type of leverage you want to use in building wealth. You want to make sure to get your foundations and everything you can get insured, your life. We insure homes, we insure cars, and it's mandatory. So let's insure our life. And then if you start to accumulate more assets, maybe you want to kick your insurance up a little bit to cover that. That way you can afford to take more risk, knowing that you have mitigated, the biggest risk in using leverage to your advantage. If you thought that this information was valuable, please make sure to like, share, or subscribe to this channel. This is Roland Webb with the Ordinary Investor. Take care.